This is row 1, seat 1.
Well, this is nice. When did we start doing this? Nobody told me about this. I thought everything sucked now. Do you have a card?
You get COVID? It's over. COVID said, oh, I see you having a good season. It'd be a shame if I knocked over the microphone for those listening and not watching the video.
If he dies, he dies.
He dies. He dies.
There is no one on that Broncos team that I love more right now than Von Miller. That man is an absolute goddamn legend. He could come into my house and fuck my wife, and I would say, thank you very much, sir.
Man to man, I don't know.
The mayor of New Orleans basically came out twirling the umbrella like, fuck Drew Brees and his wife.
Who'd you rather have sex with?
We would be.
I'm an island boy.
I'm a just island boy.
You damn kids!
Walk. Oh, yes. It never gets old. The island boy.
We looked up a thing today. They said that they were performing at Live.
Really?
I swear to God, yeah.
No way.
Yeah. I'm like, what are they going to perform?
Great. Did they even have songs?
I don't know.
I mean, they're just
They
like
barely speak in that one.
right. They're just kind of a fucking meme at this point. Like, what is going on?
I don't know. They're doing shit for Fashion Nova now and stuff. They're making money. I told you they were going to.
Oh, of course they're gonna make money, dude. They were destined to make money. You don't have to have talent to make money on the internet these days.
Clearly not.
Obviously, I mean, granted, Soulja Boy started this whole thing, but at least he's probably one of the more talented people that they've
I'll
discovered.
give them that credit.
Him and Bieber, like they're probably the two most
Yeah.
talented YouTube discoveries, right?
I mean, you cannot have talent and work yourself up to being worth like $500 million like Bieber was before he was like 18.
I mean, right?
Something like that.
Listen, Biebs is actually pretty talented. I don't mind the Biebs. I really don't. I don't listen to his music, but I'll fuck with him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He's like Justin Timberlake, like Leonardo DiCaprio. Back when we were younger, we were like, fuck those guys. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, Justin Timberlake's the man.
But then they age on you.
Yeah, and then you get a little older, and The
Wolf.
Wolf of Wall Street comes out, and you're like, huh, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
This guy's pretty fucking awesome. And well,
Departed,
because you're not in 8th grade trying to finger blast your girlfriend, and meanwhile she's like thinking of Leonardo DiCaprio
Yeah.
Titanic posters, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah. With Justin Timberlake.
How the fuck am I supposed to complete
damn
with that?
it. Yeah, no shit.
774-992-8702. Thank you all for joining us. This is another episode of Row 1, Seat 1. I am your host, Joey Fats. With me tonight, Plizzy. Sean took the night off. We got you here for an hour and a half, 90-plus minutes anyway. We got some fun stuff to talk about. A lot going on, Paul. A lot going on.
Yeah.
There is a shitload of NFL news going on. We'll get into LeBron James and his little fiasco the other night with the Pistons.
That pissed me off in ways I'll talk about after, but
We'll get into
just
that.
the outcome of it.
Yeah, that we'll talk about the action, the outcome. We'll get into the NFL. We'll talk everything that was Week 11. We'll get you prepped for Thanksgiving Day. Happy
Great week.
Happy Thanksgiving to everybody coming up. I know tomorrow night is Thanksgiving Eve. Be sure to exercise your right to book an Uber and stay out from behind the wheel if you need to. We don't want you going all Henry Ruggs on us.
Jesus Christ.
Don't need that. So get at that, and then there was a lot to get into this week. The Patriots are back in first place.
I know.
Buried.
You're welcome.
Buried back in October. Left for dead. The Pink Hats are now back out in force, claiming, again, we're going through the same thing that we went through 20-something years ago, where all the Pink Hats came out, I've been a fan the whole time. Man, bullshit. You've been rocking Tampa Bay shit for the last 500-plus days.
They do themselves no favors, do they?
No.
They shoot themselves in the foot before they even realize that they did it. You know what I mean?
Because New England fans, by and large, are too stupid to fucking know what they have. They don't realize that Belichick is the reason why you had success, not Brady. Brady was an interchangeable piece. Brady was a nice commodity. It's really nice to have stability at the quarterback position, especially when he plays at that high of a level. But to think that Bill Belichick wouldn't get this team back to its winning ways before long, you were just either not paying attention for the last 20 years or you didn't know what you were looking at. So either you were ignorant or you were stupid or just being obtuse. I don't know what to tell you. You're dumb. You're dumb. That's all it comes down to.
73 is a good look.
We'll get into that. We'll get into some other action, from around the NFL. Is Arizona the best team in the league? What's up with Antonio Bryant's fake vaccination card? Mike Florio's response to that. He was all sorts of hot and bothered by that, which was hilarious. We got a little screenshot of that. But give us a call, 774-992-8702. That's the phone number if you want to get in on some of this action. So, Paul, we're going to kick it right off here with the little fact that the Patriots are back in first place in the AFC East. Now,
Yeah. Nice climb.
Show me where you've seen this movie before. Tell me where you've seen this before. It's the Sunday, the day, a couple days before Thanksgiving. The Patriots are in first place in the AFC East. And they're getting hot at the right time. Is this just not? Are we so far? Were we so just diluted to the point where we expected this? This was like, yeah, of course, the Patriots are in first place at this time.
I didn't expect this.
Of course, this is happening. Now, did I expect them to be in first place? 2 days before Thanksgiving? No. I still expected the Bills to be there. We'll get into the Bills in a second because that holds intertwines quite nicely with your Colts.
Yes, it does.
The Patriots are in first place. This is we had 1 year where this didn't happen? Last year in a weird off year with COVID and no fans in the stands and there was just all sorts of weird shit going on. Cam Newton, at quarterback who, everybody's like, oh, he's re-energized the Carolina Panthers, and the Panthers go out and lose, and it's like, but it's not Cam's fault. It's like, bro, I hate to tell you, if you think Cam Newton's back, just give it like 3 weeks.
Well, tell that to Cam Newton, because according to him, he's back.
Yeah. So we'll get into that. We'll get into the Carolina Panthers and Cam Newton a little bit later in the show as this progresses. But, Paul, the Patriots are in first place. We're 2 days before Thanksgiving. The Bills are now looking mortal. They're looking like a team that, seemingly has kind of lost its way. They've lost a couple of big games, with the Titans now, and again this past Sunday to your Colts.
Yes.
Who the Colts, by the way, if you've been listening to the show, you would know that the Colts are nowhere near as bad as their record indicates, which is now 500. But they are not that bad.
Like we said, 2 overtime losses, and we're on like an 8-game win streak.
Yeah,
You know what
I
I
mean,
mean?
they took Baltimore to the to the bitter end. They've taken the Rams to the bitter end. They took the Titans to overtime.
Yep.
This is one of those teams where once they figure it out, and I'm telling you right now, if I'm one of those teams in the AFC, it looks like the Titans are. They're probably going to win that division. It's pretty comfortable. They got a tough game on the road at New England on Sunday.
Behind, I think.
But still, the lead, 5-5 versus 8-3, I believe it is, or is it 9-3?
8-3.
It's 8-3.
Pretty sure.
And the Colts are at 5-5, if I'm not mistaken, or 6, is it right? 5-5, right?
No, I think we're 6-5.
Or 6-5 now. I'm sorry. So they're 2 games back, but they lose the head-to-head tiebreaker because they've lost both games to the Titans so far this year.
Right.
So there's really nothing other than the Titans screwing up that can help the Colts. But nonetheless, this week was paramount in terms of shaking up the AFC. This week took the AFC and dumped it on its head because, God damn it.
What the fuck is that?
I got a hair in my mouth. Ugh. It's like right in my mouth.
Was that like a lawn hair?
I don't know.
Well,
Who knows?
whatever.
It's probably a dog hair, absolutely. So you've got the Colts beating the Bills. The Bills looked all sorts of out of sorts on Sunday.
Yeah, we
at
looked
home
damn good. Yeah.
against the Colts, and they get throttled. But let's start with the Patriots. Thursday night, they go into Atlanta, and again, remind me if this sounds familiar. A Bill Belichick coach team goes on the road on a Thursday night, a short week, and they absolutely throttle an inferior team. And I'm not saying that as they got lucky because it was an inferior team. No, they did exactly what you would expect a Bill Belichick coach team to do to a team that is on the level of the Atlanta Falcons.
True.
They throttled them. They shut them out.
The defense was
was suffocating.
Serious.
Judon, J.C. Jackson, this defense is built to win. And they are going to win games, and they are going to win games in January. This is going to be this team right now. If you're a team that is going to be as of right now, going into New England, divisional weekend or wild card weekend,
Yeah.
you're not looking forward to that matchup
No.
at all. You do not want any piece of this New England team come January. And they do what the Patriots do. They do what they're supposed to do, which is beat the brakes off of shit teams.
Yeah.
And they've competed with the good teams. You know, they've competed with the Cowboys. They've competed, with the Bucks. They've come close or should have beaten those teams.
Yeah.
They're learning how to win, and Mac Jones' progression is a big part of that. But now you're starting to see it. Even when Mac Jones has a rough day at the office, the rest of the team is able to pick it up.
Hell yeah. I mean, you got old man Kyle Van Noy out there still getting fucking picks. You know what I mean? Like, that was just a good game for them all around. It reminded me of, like, all right, that well-coached, well-rounded Bill Belichick mid-2000s era type defense that they had,
Yeah, that just kind of punch you in the mouth,
Yeah.
take no shit. And listen, Bill Belichick is the king, right? They always say, what, styles make fights?
Yeah.
Bill Belichick has no style. Bill Belichick's style is whatever is going to beat you.
Right.
That's
He
all.
morphs.
That's all it is. Whatever Bill Belichick has to do to beat you, he's going to figure that out. And every once in a while, he's going to get caught, or the talent isn't there, which we've seen at times this year. Where they've been undermanned. They went in, they got the Cowboys at home. The Cowboys finally beat the Patriots at home for the first time. It's like, what, 95 or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And it's like this big deal for the Cowboys. But for the Patriots, you're looking at it going, damn, that's one of the best teams in the NFC. And we just took them to overtime.
Right.
And frankly, like, we had chances to win this game and put this away. Like, those losses, there's no such thing as a good loss in the NFL. But we talked about it on this show. And we said, is this one of those losses where you're like, this is a good loss? It's not a good loss because there's no good loss. But, like, do you feel good about the loss? And Sean admittedly had said, like, no, I don't ever feel good about losses. I don't.
Right. How can you?
Right. But from an objective standpoint, from somebody who has no horse in the race, I'm sitting there looking at that Patriots team. They lose to the Cowboys. I'm sitting there going, shit. They're getting closer to figuring this thing out.
Yeah.
They were overmatched in terms of talent. They were overmatched in terms of, like, 1 through 53. The Cowboys have a better roster, or at least they should.
Right.
They got more flashy guys. You've got CeeDee Lamb and Amari
More
Cooper.
seasoned,
You've got guys like Tyron Smith, who's one of the best left tackles in the game.
Right.
You've got players on that team. Zeke, Dak. There's the whole. We don't need to go
Even
through the
that
whole
Schultz
Cowboys
kid's
roster.
fucking
Schultz has come on.
Killing it.
Best fantasy pickup I've made all year.
Yeah.
That being said, the Patriots are starting to figure it out. And now we're going to see on Sunday what they do with the Titans. Because this is going to be a big game. You got Vrabel versus Belichick. You've got Tannehill going to exercise some demons against the Patriots. A guy that, both the Patriots and Tannehill, they're very familiar with each other from his time in Miami. This is going to be one of those games where, the Patriots in years past, this would be a slam dunk Patriots win. But this year, it's a little bit, you don't know because Mac Jones could go out there. He could make a mistake, although he hasn't made any. He's given me no reason to believe that he will do that. However, I'm putting good. I'm going to put my seal of approval on it. I'm taking the Patriots to win this game on Sunday. You got no Julio Jones. Bill Belichick is going to limit the shit out of A.J. Brown. He's going to make Ryan Tannehill beat him with everybody else. They have no Derrick Henry.
Right.
I really don't see a situation. I can't conjure up a scenario in which the Tennessee Titans win this football game on Sunday.
I mean, I can see them winning, but I don't think they're going to. I think that they're flash in the pan, like, there's no substance to their wins to me in a sense. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they rush Derrick when they had him. They just rush his ass off. They get done what they need to get done, but Tannehill doesn't really strike me as somebody who's proven to, like, really carry you through these tough games through the long stretch to get yourself into the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like, it's just
right. No, I'm with you. The Titans don't strike me as a team where you're like, oh fuck.
8 wins. I'm like, how? Like, I get it. Like, we didn't beat you, but
because
like,
if you look at the Titans, you watch them, they're a well-coached team.
right.
They're basically, New England South is what Vrabel is trying to do down there. So, You've got a well-coached team. You've got some pretty consistent quarterback play. You've got some decent weapons outside with the skill positions. You know, there's reasons why the Titans are good. And the Titans have been good the last couple of years. They've at least been there.
Right.
They play good defense. They don't have a lot of, stud names or anything like that, but they play pretty well. And they play well as a unit. So with that being said, I should say, this is one of those teams where I look at this and I look at, this is kind of, Vrabel's going up against Sensei. He's
trying to stake his claim here.
Trying to, they beat him in the playoffs a couple of years ago. Brady's last game, which I'll remind everybody, the Brady nut gobblers out there, that Brady's last pick in a Patriots uniform was a pick six. In fact, I'm sorry, his last pass was a pick six. It was, in fact, a touchdown. It was just to the wrong team. In a playoff game, you always play the best in the big games. Yep, okay, until he's throwing pick sixes at home against Tennessee to end his Patriots tenure. Whatever. We'll get into the Bucs in a little bit too,
because he throws 3 picks in the championship game and still wins.
Yeah,
just fuck knows.
I don't know. I've never seen anybody throw more fucking interceptions in playoff games than Brady and just be like, well.
Well, we still won. It's just
Still
how it
won.
goes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that? I threw a pick. Oh, what? Oh, Marlon McCree. Oh, Troy Brown punched it out. We got it back. No big deal. Well, whatever. But no, the Lote, he will. I'll tell you right now, the Bucs won't be there. Bucs won't be there at the end of the year this year. They'll be in the playoffs, but they're not going to be in the championship game.
Yeah.
I was
telling Dad that today. I was like, they don't look as strong as they did last
year.
year.
They're not. Brady's starting to taper off, and it's just you're going to start to see more and more of it. They got lucky with the matchup that they had last night that the Giants couldn't apply even a single ounce of pressure.
Fournette was just 5 yards, 6 yards, 5 yards, 7 yards. I'm like, Jesus Christ, couldn't stop a nosebleed.
But it was pathetic. It was a pretty pathetic defensive effort by the Giants, but we've come to understand that. And offensively too, they sucked, which is why they fired the Ivy League ginger today.
Yes, I saw that.
Jason Garrett is out as the offensive coordinator in New York,
Yep,
but we'll get back to that in a second. But
I do just want to say it was good to see Saquon Barkley play for more than 30 seconds last night. That was kind of cool.
It was nice. It was also.
I was like, he is.
Granted, he averaged.
I want to see him on the field.
He averaged. He averaged what? I don't know. 3.3 yards a carry.
I know. I want him to do well. I like him. I know the work that he put in to get to where he is, and it's like a Derrick Rose story.
Rick, Leo, I can tell you right now, Brady is not winning MVP this year. It's not going to happen. And I'll tell you right now, over the next 4 weeks, 5 weeks, you'll see why. Just keep
I could
watching.
make a strong case for MVP.
Keep watching. Oh, could you?
Yeah.
Who would you pick as MVP right now? Who would you make a strong case for MVP?
Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor, best running back in the league.
I'm going JT all the way if I'm going to make a case for MVP. Right now, as it seems, I mean, the kid's just consistent as shit. I mean, I was going to bring up the point about keeping our O-line healthy before we were talking about Cole's shit, but that was earlier. It's gone now. But either way, JT running is just such a nice thing to watch as a Colts fan, to be able to see somebody come out and, have that consistency. I'm just hoping. I don't want to get my hopes up too much. I just want the longevity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We've all seen flashes in the pan, greatness, and all of a sudden, bang, fucking ACL, bang, fucking something, and they're just not the same. They don't come back. It would break my heart because it's really fun to watch him. You know what I mean? He just gets up and fucking goes.
I mean, right now he's the best running back in the league, and it's not even close.
1,100 and change for rushing yards. I forget what it was, 1137
I mean,
or something.
with Derrick Henry
that.
gone, it's Jonathan Taylor's rushing title to lose.
That's what I'm saying.
So, I mean, if you notice after this past week, it took till this past week for Derrick Henry to finally get knocked off the top of the list.
Right.
And everything, and he's missed, 3 weeks now? 4 weeks?
No, this is his second complete miss week.
Is it second complete?
3 weeks ago, he rushed in the Colts played him.
Right, the Colts.
And he got hurt, in the first half?
First half. It was the first half.
Second quarter, first half.
So it took 2 weeks for him to finally everybody else to catch up to him.
He put
up
68 yards against the Colts. That was
it. Which is such a fucking bummer, dude, because I was so looking forward to seeing – I wanted to see somebody go back-to-back 2,000-yard seasons
I know.
As a rusher.
As much as I love to see history made, I'm not glad, but there is some sort of a fucked up weight off my shoulders. But then I saw today something about he might come back early, but I don't think they should, but whatever.
If he comes back early, I mean, granted, it would help the Titans because you got to remember the Titans are – they're a Super Bowl caliber team right now in terms of the AFC. The AFC is wide open.
100%.
The Patriots are going to be there. You've got the Titans in the South. You've got the Chiefs looking like they're all of a sudden
Back.
they're not back, and we'll get into the Chiefs in a little bit. They still look like shit, and I don't think that they're of all the teams that are capable of winning or getting to the Super Bowl this year from the AFC. I think the Chiefs are like third or fourth even.
Yeah.
In the AFC, not even just the NFL, but we'll get into that in a little bit. But what you have is the Titans are one of those teams where they're like, listen, this division right now, they've put themselves the 2 wins over the Colts. They've put themselves in the driver's seat to win that division, at least get themselves a playoff home game.
Yeah.
They can get that, and they can get Derrick Henry back. That's just in itself is an uplift. That's a boost.
Right.
And then on top of that, if Henry's even 85%,
Right.
80%, you're like, oh shit. Like even at 80%, Derrick Henry's better than 28 starting running backs in the NFL right now.
Yeah, pretty much.
So you got to look at it from that standpoint. But the flip side of this coin, with the Patriots being in first place and everything looking like it's, as one of my friends would say, everything's coming up Millhouse. It's the Bills got their fucking clocks cleaned on Sunday by the Colts.
Was not expecting that.
And again, this is one of those things where we've been saying it on this show all season long. The Colts are the best 500 football team that I've ever seen. They've had some bad losses. I mean like bad beats, not bad losses. Like all the losses they've had were to good teams. They got lost to Seattle week 1, which I guess you could argue is their worst loss of the season.
Right.
But we didn't know what Seattle was. They were,
We didn't know what we were.
Nobody knew what they were. Week 1's always kind of like a coin flip.
Right.
You lose to the Titans. You lose to who else have they lost? The Rams. You lose to you had what was the other? No, you had a bad loss. Baltimore. You had a bad loss. I think you lost to the Jags too, right?
No, we beat the Jags. We almost lost to the Jags.
Almost lost to the Jags.
Because we had that issue of closing out, which is why I wasn't happy about, I'm still standing there. You saw me. It was, third quarter, and we're up by 30 points, and I'm like,
6 minutes and 48 seconds to go in the game, and I'm like, Paul, I'm changing this. He's like, no, don't change it. What are you going to see? And I'm like, Paul, the game's over. We're changing this. No, I'm telling you seriously. We fucking suck at closing game. I'm like, Paul, and then Jonathan Taylor takes off for like 13 yards and another first down. I'm like, that gets you into 4 minutes. This game's over. Fuck you. He's like, okay.
Yeah, I was like, all right, that's the one right there. But I was not expecting that. I mean, Allen threw, 3 picks? Allen
did not look good. The Bills have just looked out of sorts. They kind of remind me. They and the Cowboys kind of seem like they're in the same boat right now, where the things that got them to where they're at, or what they were doing well to start the season, they've kind of faded away, and they've lost themselves a little bit. And I feel like they're going to have a little bit of a tough sledding here, because you've got right now the Patriots have it's the Titans and the Bills back to back, right? That's what.
Yeah, because they play. I know we see them the day after Christmas. The 26th. That's the second time they play the Bills, isn't it?
Right. I'm thinking week 14 though is.
Yeah, it's coming up soon. They play them.
New England.
They play them like 3 weeks and 2 weeks. Like they play them 1 week in between, third week. I believe it is anyway. All I know is we're going to the 26th. I can't fucking wait, because now with the Patriots doing so well, and the Bills having to come from behind.
Oh, do they have the bye that week? Is that what it is?
Is that? Oh, it's a bye week.
Oh no, Tampa Bay is at Buffalo. Yeah, it's Buffalo's at Tampa Bay week 14.
Oh, all right.
How's New England?
Yeah, I don't remember either way.
I'm just looking down the schedule here.
Well, yeah.
Wait. Oh, that's why, because I'm a week ahead. Duh.
Oh, there you go.
I had the wrong week. Let's see. Yeah, Buffalo, and it's Monday night at Buffalo next week, week 13. Okay. So we'll actually, so that's the night. That's the day that. So we're in Miami that night. So we'll be in the 305. Which, by the way, for our listeners, December 7th, Pearl Harbor Day, we will not have a show. We will be on vacation in the 305. Actually, we'll be playing the Trump course that day down in Miami.
Yep, that'll be fun.
So we'll be
the Blue Monster again.
Yeah, just gonna dabble at the Blue Monster.
Second.
Can't wait to go out and shoot a 121.
I'll tell you what, it's a tough fucking course.
If I shoot a 120, that's like 30 strokes over where I usually shoot.
Yeah,
so
well,
I'm giving myself 30 strokes.
Yeah, it's weird. Some holes you're like, oh, this is so peaceful and nice, and everything is great. There's no wind, there's no nothing. And then all of a sudden, it's like 3 holes later, it's like this massive lake. It's like fucking Lake Michigan winds. You're like, what the fuck is going on? There's planes flying overhead.
747s,
Yeah.
500 feet above
You're like,
you. And you're
yeah,
like,
it's traffic over here. You're like, what the fuck is going on? I was just in the most like tranquil, like dope place, and then all of a sudden you get out to around a couple spots and it gets pretty hectic. But it's
looking forward to it. But yeah, so December 7th, there will be no show just for those listening.
yeah.
But no, so you got Monday night, week 13, which is going to be absolutely fucking that's going to be one hell of a fucking game. That's big time because Buffalo, they've got, who do they have this week? They're, I should know this. They've got, they're Thanksgiving. They play Thanksgiving. They're at New Orleans Thanksgiving night. Oh. So they've got the long week to prepare.
Right.
You know, where the Patriots will only have, you know, they won't have as long of a week, but still, New England gets, who do they have this week? We just went over this.
Who does who have this week?
The Titans, right. So they've got the
Right.
Titans. So they got back-to-back tough games for the Patriots. But the Bills, I mean, Jesus Christ, dude, what the fuck is with the Bills? Like, they got to get their shit together. Because I still got the Bills winning this division. Right. I know it looks tough right now, but I still think they sweep New England just because I think they're more talented. And I think they're going to get up for that Monday night game at home. I think they're definitely going to win the Monday night game in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Week 13. And then December 26th, when Buffalo comes to New England, we'll see where the chips fall at that point and who's who. But I think they should probably still win that game as well. But you never know. It's a Bill Belichick coach football team. They're going to be there. The Patriots are going to the playoffs.
Yeah.
The Patriots are going to ruin someone's season. Cough Cincinnati, cough Baltimore. I'm looking in your general direction.
Yeah, no shit.
Like, it's going to happen. Whether they win the division or not, they're going to ruin someone's fucking life come January, and it's going to be very, 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 very frustrating. I came to the gut-wrenching realization that there is a possibility of a Tampa Bay New England Super Bowl.
Oh my God!
And
Could
I'm
you
like,
imagine that?
I just might go to work that day. I might not even watch.
Fuck that! I'm watching that
watch
shit.
Brady get his 8th or watch the Patriots win a Super Bowl. I'm like, good God. I'd rather fucking die. I'd literally rather go to work and get stabbed in the neck by a
Dude,
con.
what a fucked up scenario.
It would just be fucking horrid. That's my nightmare scenario. Tampa Bay, New England.
Oh, that's a terrible, terrible situation. I wouldn't want to. I mean,
I can't.
Who would I root for? Who would I want to win that game?
I would be rooting for a meteor to come screaming out of the fucking stratosphere and just hit the stadium. Dead center. Ground zero, 50-yard line. Done. Bye.
That's crazy.
We're like,
That's crazy.
guess we can't have a Super Bowl this year. Oh, well.
Everybody's fucking dead.
Oh,
Like,
well.
what
I
the-
guess
what
we're
the
on to
cra-
2022, bitches. Oh, Aaron Rodgers in Denver. Shaka bra.
Yeah. By the way, now hiring,
by the way,
walk-ons.
hey, by the way, there's 106 vacancies on the Bucs and the Patriots. So,
Yep.
I would hope that Bill Belichick survives. That's the only thing. I just want Bill to survive.
Yeah.
And the coach.
We're hiring front office. We're hiring fucking coaches.
Sean would probably want McDaniels to be one of the first people. It's the thing the meteor starts off the size of Texas, and then it whittles down to the size of a golf ball and just dings Josh McDaniels in the forehead. Sean's like, yes.
No more McDaniels.
It's now
He
that
really hates him that much.
that removes any chance that McDaniels
gets the throne
after Belichick leaves.
Ugh.
You'd be like, yeah, fuck this guy.
Yeah, hell yeah, no, fuck
So
that.
that would be that, but what a gross game. I was thinking about potential Super Bowl matchups that I would want to see, and obviously Green Bay, Kansas City would be fun, Rodgers, Mahomes. I think Rams out of the NFC and Rams Titans rematch from '99 would be super cool.
Yeah.
There's
I would rather see Detroit, Jacksonville on over the fucking Patriots and the Bucs.
Oh, I'd rather watch, I'd rather the NFC be eliminated entirely. And it's okay, the Super Bowl this year is between, it's a round robin between the Chiefs, Chargers, and Raiders. And I'd be like, all right, fuck it. That's better than the alternative, so fuck.
Yeah.
Whatever. Or they're like, we're just going to make the AFC West honorary Super Bowl winners except the Broncos. I'm like, all right, it's fair. Chargers get their first, Chiefs get their second, Raiders get their fourth. We're still sitting tight with 3, whatever. I'm like, Better than watching Brady get his 8th or the Patriots get another one.
Yeah, no shit.
But then again, the flip side of this whole thing is, and somebody asked me the other day, they're like, are you rooting for the Patriots to win because it proves that it was Belichick more than it was Brady? And I said, no. I said, I'm not rooting for the Patriots to win. I'm rooting for me to be right.
Right.
So I'm rooting for my prediction or my analysis to be correct, meaning if the Patriots did win the Super Bowl this year, let's say hypothetically it was Patriots-Bucks,
Right.
and Belichick goes in and wins the Super Bowl and beats Brady, I would actually be happier with that outcome than I would if Brady won his 8th and beat Belichick in the Super Bowl.
Right, no shit.
So, because
Yeah,
not because I'm rooting either way. Like, I couldn't give two shits. Like, Brady doesn't play for the Patriots anymore, so it's like I don't even whatever. He's just another guy. Like, oh, he's the best quarterback ever. Yeah, whatever. You're stupid. You don't watch football. Never mind. I don't care. Whatever. Fine. That's fine. You're dumb. Fuck you. Like, I'll sit here and argue with you all day until I'm blue in the face. And guess what? I'll outlast you. My lungs are bigger than yours. I can sit here and argue longer. I've outlasted more people in arguments than I can even fucking count. That being said, I don't have the hatred for Brady like I did when he was with the Patriots because
I agree with that.
He's not a Patriot. My hatred was for the team and the fans and
whoever was on him.
And anybody who goes to the Patriots can get fucked. I don't care. Like, if Peyton Manning had become a Patriot, it'd have been a tough pill to swallow, but I would have been like, you know what, Peyton? Right there, buddy.
Well, we only say that because of how much we love him now. But if he did go, we'd be like, all right, fuck you, asshole.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, it would just be, I'd be like, yeah, Bob, go fuck yourself.
Suck, yep.
You suck, bitch. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, what's that? All of a sudden, Tom Brady becomes the greatest quarterback of all time. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Brady's the best.
Yeah.
Went to New England, played with Belichick. Yeah, Brady's still better, bitch.
Right.
Like, whatever.
How many people used to ask me, "Oh, you're a fucking Denver fan now because the fucking Peyton went to?" I'm like, no, asshole. I wasn't a Colts fan because
people used to ask me if I was a Colts fan because I was rooting for the Colts in the playoffs when they weren't playing the Broncos. And they were like, "What are you, a Colts fan now?" I'm like, "No, you dipshit. I'm a Broncos fan. I'm just rooting against the Patriots, and Peyton happens to be my favorite player.
Right.
Deal with it." But and then it's like when your favorite player comes to your favorite team, you're like, oh,
yeah,
the glory.
No, I like the Broncos. So that was an
The
easy
power
pill to
and the
swallow.
glory. Yeah.
That was the best case scenario for somebody like me. I was like, oh, all right, at least he's going to a team that I like. And
Well,
if the
because
Colts aren't
2011,
there-
the whole time we were sitting in front of our TVs going, suck for luck.
Right.
And we were trying to see who's going to outsuck. I was going to say outsuck each other, but that was not coming out. That was not coming out how I wanted it to. But we were, the Broncos started off 1-4. I think you guys were like 1-4. And then, Tim Tebow came in and ruined everything in terms of us getting Andrew Luck. But that's okay. We
almost
got
beat
Peyton
the
Manning
Steelers.
instead. So.
Yeah, Dan Orlovsky and Curtis Painter almost fucked us. We almost beat the Steelers. Thank God for Troy Polamalu because he put a fucking end to that, and we got Andrew Luck.
Yeah,
so.
and then we beat the Steelers that year anyway, so it didn't matter. So
Andrew
the
Luck
Steelers,
retired, so.
the Steelers got their comeuppance. God damn it.
There, come up.
Fucking Steelers. God damn it, dude. Like, and the Steelers, like, how the fuck are you going to tie the Lions to? Like, what are you...
Dude, I was watching that game the other night, and I was sitting there, and I'm looking
And
at
then
the
they
Steelers.
go, and then they, like, against the Chargers, they lose this, like, barn burner of a game, and it's like, bro.
Dude, I like fucking Ben Roethlisberger as a person, but God, like,
Really? You like him as a person? I think most people would disagree with that.
I like Ben Roethlisberger. I like I don't, maybe not as a person. I like as an individual.
As an individual player.
Yes, as an individual player, wherever he may go, I will always be like, I like that guy. Maybe not as a person. Yes, okay, clarify that. But
I mean, Ben Roethlisberger as a person, I'm just saying the allegations, little bit iffy.
Yeah, but I just don't remember looking and watching a team and hating them so much, other than like the Patriots in the last couple of years, than I do the fucking Steelers. For some reason, I can't fucking stand the Steelers now. I think they suck. I fucking hate all the bullshit that these people talk, all their fucking fans and their bullshit like home juice. I don't know what the fuck they're making them fucking refs drink down there in fucking in Pittsburgh, but to get the calls that a team gets at home, it's just like, all right, like how blatant can you make it that you're literally just being the most biased? This is like the most ridiculous game I've ever seen ref. And I believe
Officiated.
it was a couple. Yeah, officiate, ref, whatever. Refereed. Some shitty English there for you, but whatever. All I'm saying is they get more home cooking than any fucking team.
Listen, man,
I've ever seen.
I've long said that the Steelers are one of those teams where you're just like, dude, how? Like, how are they getting these calls? They always seem to get the calls. They were like the Patriots. They're like the Patriots, like, junior. Like, the Patriots always got the calls, no matter what. Like, you could, like, it was like clockwork. You're like, oh, tight game. Don't worry. Here come the flags in favor of the Patriots. Just watch. It's happening. It's gonna happen.
Right.
And the yellow would just rain down on the field. The Steelers are not far behind, though. The Steelers are definitely not far behind.
No, and I don't think that theirs as big as the Patriots, only because the Patriots get home cooking and they win. The Steelers get it, and they still haven't won shit in like fucking 14 years or
Yeah,
whatever.
2008.
12 years, whatever, 13 years.
Yeah, 05, 08, and they made it back in 10 and lost Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
So it's been at least that long, you know, 14 years
They haven't won shit in a while.
since they've won one. And they haven't even gotten really close. They've gotten to a AFC Championship game, I think, once.
Mike Tomlin had to trip a guy, you know?
Yeah, Mike Tomlin definitely was like, whoa, I didn't see you there. Sorry, Jacoby. Haha, just
Funniest fucking penalty I've ever seen committed.
sorry, bro. Totally didn't see you running up my sideline just now. I was not watching the game. It's like, you're the head coach of a football team. What the hell were you watching? Oh, I was looking at that Chick-fil-A ad on the scoreboard. And
Yeah.
I was thinking of, you know, that spicy chicken deluxe.
I kicked the air because I didn't have one.
Yeah, it was. You know, I got really mad because I didn't have one. It was Sunday, and I wasn't gonna be able to get one that night. So I was just like, "Fuck it!" And I threw my
Mike
foot
Tomlin
out.
Is dirty ass.
But no, it was just. It's one of those. You're right. The Steelers are just one of those teams where they just get bullshit, dude. And like,
Yeah, I can't.
what the
stand
fuck,
it. I don't
bro?
know, I just hate them now.
And then you're right, and they get bullshit, but they get bullshit against the teams where like you want them to. You don't care. Like, okay, fine. Like they beat the Browns. They get some bullshit calls against the Browns. You're like, great. But then they go and they play the Patriots and they just step on their dicks and they're like, oh well, we tried. I mean, we know we lost 38-10, but we gave it our all. And it's like, you motherfuckers, like you can't ever beat the goddamn teams that I want you to beat. Like, no,
Right.
you gotta go out there and like throw the upset in the team that I don't want you to beat, or I don't care if you beat. But then when I want you to win, you fucking lose. That's one thing I hate most. That's the thing I hate most about the Steelers. They always lose when I want them to win. If I'm ever rooting for the Steelers to win a game, you can basically guarantee they're going to lose.
Yeah.
It never fails me.
And that's unfortunate because that's usually only against the Patriots. That's be the only time.
Yep.
So that's a double suck right there, motherfucker. You know what I mean?
That's a double
So,
dickhead.
yeah. So it's
Both
like,
eyes.
fuck off.
774-992-8702. If you want the audio-only stream of this broadcast, you can go to Mixlr.com, MixLR.com/Joey-Fats. You can check it out right there. That way you don't have to type your phone with Facebook Live. Show will be uploaded to Spotify within the hour after the show is on. All of our shows are on Spotify and YouTube as well, so make sure you go to our YouTube channel, give us a like and a subscribe. Always helps. The new show will be up every single week. Hopefully we'll be expanding some content where we've been talking about expanding content on the YouTube channel for a while now. I think we're getting closer to a position where we can actually start to make good on that promise. So we will see. We might start doing like a little Sunday morning preview show, like a little quick 30-minute, 45-minute like little
Pick 'em.
Hey, what's up? Pick 'em show. We'll go from there, but nonetheless, we'll be expanding on that. So make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss anything. Paul, let's talk a little bit here about some of the other action. We had the Chiefs and the Cowboys Sunday afternoon. And there's a couple of storylines that came out of this game. One, the Cowboys kind of got fucking throttled.
Yeah.
They kind of sucked. They didn't look – they, again, like the Bills, looked like they were just out of sorts for whatever reason. They lose 19-9, a 10-point loss. I know they had no CeeDee Lamb because he was in the concussion protocol for most of the second half of that game, three quarters of that game. They lose him. They didn't have Amari Cooper because he tested positive for COVID and is unvaccinated.
Oh, no.
And we'll get into that in a second because Mike Florio is a fucking dipwad. Like, what a absolute fucking douche nozzle. Like, what a just a tool. But what's going on with the Cowboys here? I mean, this is getting ridiculous to the point, like, they're so up and down. They get the blowout loss to the Broncos a couple weeks ago. They come back, they blow out the Falcons. They go to Kansas City and they lose a tough one, 19-9. I know they were shorthanded, but don't you think like a team with Ezekiel Elliott, that offensive line, Dak Prescott, you'd be able to score more than 9 against that shit-ass Kansas City defense?
Yeah, they just didn't seem like they could get it going.
Right? They
They
just
never had
seem-
like any like rhythm.
They
you
just
know?
seem stuck in like they seem like they're what's that song? The Friends song. It always seems like you're stuck in second gear.
Yeah.
Like you just can't get. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it just, I mean, and I was texting a friend of mine, and he's just like, dude, I'm about to fucking lose it. And I'm like, because he's a Cowboys fan, and I'm like, bro, I'm like, it looks like Mahomes is just like picking you apart to death with these little chunk yardages,
Right.
Tyreek Hill and shit like that. Your defense is just giving up these short yardage plays, and obviously, you get enough of them, and you're marching right down the fucking field. And on offense for the Cowboys, it just misfiring. They couldn't get anything going. You know what I mean? And I mean, coming into KC's always been a tough place. Everybody's known that.
Right, Kansas City,
You know,
especially when you start
that's-
getting into the December months and shit like that. It starts to.
Big NFC team versus a big AFC team, big game. I don't know. They just came out flat.
They did. They
came out
that's
flat.
exactly what it is. They just came out
Really
flat.
know how to put it.
And I know I know they were short. They were kind of undermanned. They were short staffed at the receiver position with no Cooper and no Lamb. And those are big losses for them. Like those guys are integral parts of that offense.
Oh, of course.
But that being said, if you told me coming into that game the Chiefs were only going to score 19 points, I would have taken the Cowboys
All day.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Like it wouldn't even been close.
Yeah.
And
No, I agree.
for them to go in and only score 9 is really kind of, I don't want to say unnerving, but it's annoying. Because you know how talented that team is. You know how good they can be.
Right.
And yet there they are, and they're just like, well, we're just going to put up 9. Like, does Zeke Elliott exist anymore? Like, is he not the little engine that could, the straw that stirs the drink in Dallas? Why are we sitting here and pretending like, I get it. It makes it easier when there's no CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper on the field for the defense, but you're still going to feed Zeke the rock. You still got to get the running lanes open. Let the man do what he does.
Yeah.
And I just don't feel like they did. The play calling was off. It was just weird timing for weird calls. Like, there just seems like there's something off in Dallas.
They like outcoached themselves.
And, yeah, like paralysis by analysis. you
Yeah,
know?
they just overthought it. Went in there with some kind of crazy fucking plan. That
Kind of
was
like
just-
what I'm doing with my my monitor setup. I'm
Yeah.
sitting here debating like, oh god damn it, I need a new monitor, and which one should I get? And I'm going through all these different options, and
the hurt.
and before I know it, it's been 8 months and I haven't bought anything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, shit. Maybe
Or
I
get
should
off
just
the
buy
pot.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, piss or get out the pot. But Dallas needs to do that. Dallas needs to piss or get out the pot. Kansas City, I know they had the win. I know they got the W, and they've won. They blew out the Raiders the other day, which, I mean, whatever. It's the Raiders. Who cares? The Raiders are their own version of fucked right now. Like, they just can't get out of their own way. Like, I mean, seriously, Derek Carr is, I mean, the rumors are starting to clamor that Derek Carr might be out in Vegas after this year.
Oh shit.
Which, I mean, is asinine to think about, but this isn't the first time this rumor has started to circulate, and you have to wonder where it's coming from. Is it Derek Carr's people that are starting it in order to, jumpstart this getting him out of Vegas train? Because we talked about it last week. We've seen peak Derek Carr.
He's not going to win you a Super Bowl.
We've seen, not in Oakland. He might be able to go somewhere else and win you a Super Bowl.
Think so?
But he's not going to the Texans and the Texans rebuild around Derek Carr and they win a Super Bowl. It's not like if Aaron Rodgers goes to the Denver Broncos and the Denver Broncos are instantly Super Bowl contenders. It's not that. It's not if Derek Carr goes to the Denver Broncos, they are not instantly Super Bowl contenders.
Right.
They're maybe AFC Championship worthy, but they're still going to need a lot to happen in order for that team to get over that hump.
Right.
So he's not tier 1. He's somewhere stuck in that purgatory between like 2 and 3. Because he has his moments where you're like, okay, he can throw 400 yards and 5 touchdowns and win you a game 41-37 if you need to. And then you'll watch him play and then you're like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Why did he just throw that ball straight up into the air and let it sit up there for 20 minutes while every defender, like fucking defensive tackles, are like, I'm about to get me an interception. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Because they have enough time to run down the field and get under the fucking thing.
Yeah.
Like, he does weird things, but the Raider, like, so you've got these, the Chiefs, they're not. They blew out the Raiders, and it's like, who cares? They only put up 19 against the Cowboys. And I know everybody loves those. We love, me and Sean have been saying it for a year and a half, 2 years now. Listen, Mahomes is going to come back down to earth. He ain't going to average 35 points a game. He's not going to throw 50 touchdowns a year. He's not rewriting the record books before this contract is up. Like, this man is going to come back down to earth. Defenses are going to, people are going to start to figure him out, know what he does, and those cute little left-handed plays and shovel passes and,
those.
he's look at him, he's parallel to the ground and he's throwing the ball. Like, yeah, that shit's all fun and well until it's not. And then you start losing games.
And now it's costing you games.
And then it's costing you games, and then it starts to compound. And in the NFL, things compound very quickly.
It's funny because Patrick Mahomes, and maybe this is only specific to himself because he is one of the only guys that I see that actually completes left-handed passes, unlike Carson Wentz, who completes them for fucking pick sixes. But anyway,
he does do that.
Him doing that and throwing those little cute passes and all this crazy-ass shit that he does, I get it. It's awesome when it works, but it's like tenfold the other direction when it fucks up.
Exactly.
You look twice as much like a fucking retard when you can't get it done when you're doing that dumb shit as how cool you look when you do get it done.
Right.
In my opinion.
I agree.
Makes sense.
And again, like I said before, we've seen this movie before. It's called Brett Favre, okay? Like we know how this movie goes. Guy's got a fucking hand cannon, can make every fucking throw. Nothing the dude can't do with a football. But when you have that mentality, at times you are still going to you're gonna fuck up. And we're seeing it. Now, I know the Chiefs are back on top in the AFC West. I know they've won a couple of straight. But they haven't, even in their wins, they've looked rickety. Like, they look like a house of cards that is a stiff breeze away from just collapsing yet again. And they survived the scare on Sunday with Tyrann Mathieu being able to play.
Yep.
Reed Sorensen's terrible. He's getting beat left and right. Like, they're discombobulated, if you will. And they're the Chiefs right now, I think, are the biggest paper tiger in the AFC.
Yeah.
Because they've got the most, they're loaded with talent with Hill and Kelsey and Mahomes and Matthew, and they've got good players.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day,
they don't scare anymore.
But no, it's not.
They don't scare you anymore.
I mean, look, can they put up points in bunches? Sure. Ask the Raiders. But are they a team to be feared like they were in the last couple of years? Because you're like, fuck, how are we got to score at least 30 to win this game, and we've got to play basically mistake-free football. And if you don't do both of those things, you're screwed.
Right.
Or you could even be up 24-0 like the Texans were, and you still get throttled.
Right. If the Colts had to go into Arrowhead for the playoffs this year, I would not be as scared this year as I was, and rightfully so. 2 years ago? 3 years ago?
Mm-hmm. 2019.
2019. I was scared going in there. I knew it. And we got our asses fucking dicked. You know what I mean? That was just
snowy-ass afternoon in Kansas City.
Shitty, yep, and that's the way it was. This year, I would be confident going in. I would be confident going into Arrowhead.
Well, with the
playoffs.
Colts defense, and I think that's the understated part of the Colts resurgence.
I'm talking more from a standpoint from any playoff caliber team at this point.
Yeah.
I'm talking from anybody who's going to make the playoffs.
Titans, Patriots,
if you
Colts,
have to go into Arrowhead,
Chargers.
Bro, just put your game plan together and don't worry about it. It's not like what it used to be.
No, and that's the thing. The mystique is kind of disappeared from Kansas City, from Arrowhead a little bit. Like,
Mahomes is mortal.
Right. Everybody knows, like, it's, if he bleeds, we can kill it.
That's it.
And he bleeds, and we've seen him bleed. Not to say that he wasn't, but the only thing stopping Mahomes, early in his career was Bill Belichick and Tom Brady.
Right.
Now, Brady's gone, and Belichick had to have a year to rebuild, and
switched up.
They were able to get back. They were able to go back-to-back Super Bowls. And go 1-1. But they're not a team that I look at. I mean, don't get me wrong; they can get hot and start playing well. But right now, as of Thanksgiving 2021, I'm not picking the Kansas City Chiefs to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. No way. They'd probably be my fourth or fifth option.
Yeah.
At this point.
Oh, yeah. For the Super Bowl for the AFC, yeah, they wouldn't be.
I'd put the Titans above them, the Patriots above them. I'd put
the Bills.
The Bills,
even though they're fumbling right now, but I would still.
Yeah, but they're still there. I mean,
it takes a week to get it together.
You could even make the argument that Joe Burrow and the Bengals are better equipped.
Shit, dog. Yeah.
Shit, dog.
Bringing in Joe Burrow,
more equipped to win that to get to the AFC, get to the Super Bowl from the AFC. So, it's one of those things where the Chiefs are kind of like, they're ho-hum. They're there.
Yep.
They do okay. But they're not.
They're not the new dynasty.
I'm not sitting here looking at the Chiefs and being like, oh, wow.
Right.
Fuck, that's a good team. And I'm pissed because the fucking Broncos got flexed. The Broncos game in Arrowhead 2 weeks, not this Sunday, 2 weeks from now, got flexed to the 8 o'clock game, the Sunday night game.
That's a good thing, isn't it?
No.
Why?
Because I don't want to go on national television and get fucking embarrassed by the Chiefs for the 12th straight fucking time.
Who the hell? How do you know that's going to happen? I don't even fucking say Teddy Two Gloves because I know.
Is Drew Lock starting?
No.
Okay, then.
Yeah,
We're
well,
getting
guess
embarrassed.
what? You guys still fucking throttled one of the best teams, one of the better teams in the NFC, and the Cowboys. You know what I mean? Like, you've had good games.
The Cowboys played their worst.
Cast,
the Cowboys played their worst game of the year, and we played the best game we've played in maybe 2 years.
Okay, that's all you got to do.
It was an anomaly.
That's all you got to do again.
Yeah, I know. I get it. But, no, we're going to go out and on the national stage. We're going to get dicked down by the Chiefs. We're going to lose our 12th straight. We haven't beat the Chiefs since week 2 of 2015.
Jesus Christ.
That was the Bradley Roby scoop and score. Remember when Jamal Charles fumbled it?
I'd have to see it, but yeah, probably.
It was week 2, 2015. Gary Kubiak's first year as the head coach. They went into Kansas City Thursday night, and I was on my honeymoon. I was actually
that's probably what I remember. I was probably watching it.
I was in Italy, I think, at that point, watching that game, leaving Italy. And it was like fucking 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm watching the game, and I'm jumping up and down on the bed, screaming. And my wife wakes up. She's like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "Don't worry about it, bitch. We won.
Go to bed.
Go to bed, bitch."
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
but that was the last time we beat the Chiefs. The last time we even came close to beating the Kansas City Chiefs, Case Keenum overthrew a wide open Demaryius Thomas, who would have walked in for the game-winning touchdown.
Right.
And he missed him. I mean, wide open fucking missed him.
That's right.
And it was just, it's gut-wrenching. So we're going to go on national television on Sunday Night Football, and we're going to get embarrassed. Now, the good thing is, and for my Broncos fans who are listening, my fellow Bronco fans, they locked up 2 wide receivers this week.
For 4 years, right?
For 4 years apiece. Tim Patrick and Cortland Sutton signed 4-year extensions. Won't go into the details. Both of them got paid, though.
$60 million for Sutton, I think.
Sutton's $60 million, $34 guaranteed. Tim Patrick somewhere in the same neighborhood, a little bit less.
Not going into it.
Tim Patrick, for those who don't know, Tim Patrick is basically Chase Claypool. Okay? So just for a reference, he's basically that. They're roughly the same. Tight ends, they're basically tight end bodies with wide receiver speed. Sure.
Hold on. Handle it solo, bro. I'm going downstairs. Got that?
Got that.
Word.
Check that. So, hold on. Just me and alone in my thoughts here. So, Tim Patrick, Cortland Sutton get locked up 4-year extensions, which is huge for the Broncos for a couple of reasons. One, you secure the young talent at receiver that we so desperately needed to secure. 2, what this tells me going forward is that George Patton and the Broncos are all in on making a major splash at quarterback come this offseason. Now, obviously, Aaron Rodgers has been tied to the Broncos since last offseason. Russell Wilson is apparently unhappy in Seattle. Pete Carroll is unhappy in Seattle. There seems like a divorce on the horizon for those two. Now, can Seattle do the unthinkable and let Russell Wilson walk out the door or trade him away? Who knows? It depends on who the head coach they hire is. If Pete Carroll walks away, I would say that nothing is off the table here. If Pete Carroll leaves and says, "Fuck it, I'm done. I'm old. I'm done. I'm done with this head coaching shit." I could absolutely see Russ being like, "You know what? Let me out of here. I don't want to be here for a rebuild. I want to go and go somewhere where I can actually make an impact." Could that be Denver? It very well could. Right now, if you're a Denver Broncos fan, congratulations, because you now are in the driver's seat to land whatever quarterback you deem worthy of landing that becomes available this offseason, because you not only have the cap space, because the contract extensions for Sutton and Patrick are very team-friendly contracts, but they also lock up the talent that gives the allure. So if an Aaron Rodgers wanted to come to Denver, he would be looking at that and saying, I've got Cortland Sutton, Tim Patrick, KJ Hamler, and Jerry Jeudy, along with Noah Fant and Javonte Williams. And you know what? That offensive line is pretty fucking good too. And you know what? That defense, while it's young and a little bit raw, they've got some players. The other part of that is the Broncos are going to have $80+ million in cap space to spend this offseason. So they're going to be able to go out and spend a boatload of money to bolster the defense, get any skilled position players that they see fit, and pay a quarterback. So they're going to have a shit ton of money. And the best thing the Broncos have done is they've drafted good young talent. Thank you, Mr. Elway, for that. Everybody loves to ride Elway. Try and tell me he's a shit-ass GM or he's a crap GM. Fuck out of my face with that shit. Honestly. I'm not hearing that anymore. I never was hearing it to begin with. I'm doubling down. I'm definitely not hearing it now. There is absolutely no way you would convince me that John Elway is a bad general manager. He hired and allowed George Patton to take over that role as he stepped back into a more executive role. Ownership should be settled this offseason as well. Things are looking up for the Denver Broncos coming up this offseason. I'm telling you right now, if you're a Broncos fan, the regular season right now, I know we're sitting at 5-5, but come on, man. Like, we were 3-0 at one point. We're 2-5 since. This is not a good team. This is not a great team. Teddy Bridgewater is historically bad on third downs. Historically bad. Out of, I believe it was like 302. I think it was 302 quarterbacks since like 96 or something like that. Or something. I forget what the exact number was, but Teddy Bridgewater ranks at like 276th in yards per completion on third down. Meaning, of the 300-something quarterbacks that have thrown passes on third down, and not to preface this, Teddy Bridgewater's completion percentage on third down is like 5th. He's completed more third down passes than damn near anybody in the history of the league. But his average completion comes up 1.3 yards short of the sticks on third down.
Check down, Teddy.
Historically bad. I mean, I'm talking like one of the, like, we're talking 20+ years here of data. And Teddy Bridgewater ranks in the bottom 10 of this stat. So keep that in mind. If you're a Broncos fan, we've got a lot to look forward to. It's unfortunately not until February.
When Aaron Rodgers comes to town.
After the Super Bowl. Because we will not be in the playoffs. We will not be in the Super Bowl. And the other key part of this, too, is they've got to get a coaching staff that knows what the fuck they're doing. So I'd be totally on board with giving Kellen Moore the reins to the Broncos. You bring in Aaron Rodgers, you get Kellen Moore as the head coach. Shit, dog. Let him select the staff. Let Aaron Rodgers have some input. Let's build a fucking winner, baby. We got the talent. Imagine Aaron Rodgers throwing to Sutton, Judy, Hamler, and Tim Patrick next year.
Yeah, it'd be pretty dope.
You might top 55 touchdowns, especially in 17 games.
Get rid of Gordon, put something in the backfield. I don't know.
Well, Javonte Williams is going to be a stud.
Yeah.
Is a stud.
Come up, yeah.
Javonte Williams and Jonathan Taylor are going to be the two best running backs in the league before long. You watch. Mark my words. 774-992-8702. Let's switch gears here just a touch, Paul. And let's dive into a little bit of the NBA because
some funny shit going on there this week.
LeBron pulled a pretty bitch move the other night.
Dude.
And there's really nothing that gets people's juices flowing more than talking shit about LeBron James.
Facts.
But let's call this for what it is, okay? Everybody knows I'm a Lakers fan. Everybody knows I'm a LeBron fan. Everybody knows I always dismiss that, there's a lot of dumb shit that gets said about LeBron, like, oh, he'll never be Jordan, he'll never be Kobe. Like, just stop. He's already on that level. Okay? Whether you want to like him or not, that's irrelevant.
Who he is I like Ben Roethlisberger as a person more than I like LeBron as a person. But I like LeBron on the court.
Listen, LeBron on the court.
I don't like LeBron off the court.
LeBron on the court is one of the top 3 to ever do it. Okay,
of course.
You've got Jordan, LeBron, and then take your pick at the number 3. Do you want Magic, Bird, Kobe, who's Shaq? I don't give a shit. Whoever, wherever you want to put there. But no one has done what LeBron James has done in the NBA. Not since there was 8 teams in the league. Okay. Like, in this ultra-competitive NBA, LeBron goes to the final. It's almost a guarantee you're going to the finals. The man's went to, 10 straight? Missed one because of injury, and then went right back and won it.
Yeah.
So he went to 11 out of 12 finals, won a couple championships, listen, he's gonna get his. He's gonna get his. Like, it's gonna happen. And I know he's getting a little older and he's getting to the end of his career. But he's still LeBron fucking James. Like, he is the straw that stirs the drink, not just for the Lakers, for the NBA. Teams, players team up in certain locations knowing that they are going to have to get past LeBron.
To beat him.
They know the only way to get past LeBron is to join forces.
They do it so they can, exactly.
So that's all fine and well. But what LeBron did the other night.
What was it that set him off so bad? All I saw were the highlights. Obviously, I don't watch the NBA.
So I
anymore.
didn't see the game. I saw there was a foul called. They went in for the rebound on the foul, and LeBron just threw an elbow.
Because they were all still. They were standing there. I didn't see any action going on when I saw the highlight of the elbow.
The free throw went up. Everybody kind of stepped into the paint, and as he did, LeBron kind of did one of these and flicked his elbow and caught the what was his name? I can't remember his name now.
Me neither. I don't even know.
Isaiah something.
Like I said, I do not watch the NBA anymore. I don't. I'm not going to pretend like I'm a fan. I like it when the Celtics win. That's cool because I'm a Celtics fan. I know I'm not even a fan. I just like that team. But I saw the flick.
Isaiah Stewart. That's who.
Yeah, I saw the action. And AD came to LeBron's defense and tried saying he's not a dirty player, blah, blah, blah.
Historically, LeBron has not been a dirty player.
I don't believe so either. He's never been. This is his first time in his entire career being suspended ever. You know what I mean? Okay, people want to bring up MJ. He's never been suspended, blah, blah, blah. But the fact that you watch LeBron, you watch the clip and you can see it, and you're like, yeah, there's no way that was a fucking accident, dude. You know what I mean? Like, there's just no way.
It was a dirty play, and just because you're not historically a dirty player doesn't remove you from making a dirty play at some point.
Right. Emotions take over.
It happens
to everybody.
And that's fine, but own it. And the NBA coming out and suspending LeBron for 1 game and Isaiah Stewart for 2?
They gave the guy who started it less.
So LeBron starts it. The guy's bleeding. He's cut under his eye. Goes at LeBron.
That's 2 games.
And they give him 2 games. And they give the guy who elbowed the dude in the face 1. Now, you could argue that, maybe they said that LeBron didn't have the intent. And yes, LeBron is actually less dirty than Brady for going in cleats up. Brady goes in cleats up on those slides all the time and never gets called for it.
Damn thing.
Nobody gets called for it, except for the one time where he got fined $10,000 for doing it to Ed Reed in the AFC Championship game. But whatever.
Yeah, like they say though, the retaliator always gets it worse.
Right, exactly, and that's exactly what happened here.
I get that. That's bottom line.
Gilbert Arenas summed it up perfectly when he basically told Isaiah Stewart, like, bruh, pack your bags. They're trading your ass to Siberia. Like, you're done. You cannot go at the king, the golden boy, the poster child of the NBA, and expect to come out of this clean. And Gilbert Arenas obviously said this tongue-in-cheek. He was on Isaiah Stewart's side. Like, he's like, yo, you went at LeBron? He's like, everybody knows you don't touch LeBron.
No,
you can't.
It's pathetic.
The NBA will defend him
I hate that.
tooth and nail. Like, LeBron defends genocide in China, for Christ's sakes, on behalf of the NBA. Of course the NBA is going to suspend little-known Isaiah Stewart and basically be like, yo, bro, you're done in our league forever for going at him. And, I did love Gilbert Arenas saying, like, the only thing he's like, it's like them boys, them brothers out in Golden State. He's like, you even puff your chest out at them, you're getting fucking teed up. Yeah. Like, he's like, that's it. But that's how it is. The NBA protects its players now. Like, they protect these big players. Enes Kanter, I swear to God, I'm getting an Enes Kanter jersey just because the way he punked off LeBron and has been calling LeBron out on his support of China and all this other stuff. LeBron wants to be an activist, and he's all about it. But as soon as China's like, and LeBron's like, yes, sir. Right. Bends the knee to China. But LeBron pulled off a bitch move. And as a LeBron fan and a LeBron supporter, basically his whole career, his entire career, for me, as me.
For the most part, I had one year. You didn't like him back in the day.
I had 1 year where I rooted against him. Jabron Lames. I had 1 year where I didn't root for him his first year in Miami because I was so turned off by the decision and the way that they did it and I just wanted them to lose that finals to Dallas because because I was so pissed off that because there was people that were there that were like, they're going to win 6 straight championships, 5 straight championships. I'm like, no, they got to earn it. Like, they haven't earned anything yet. Like, they haven't done it. Like, you've got to like the Pistons had to get through the Celtics, and the Bulls had to get through the Pistons.
Right.
And
you're gonna have your matchups, dude. It's not just a guaranteed
Yeah,
thing. I mean,
and
didn't
it was
Chris Bosh go into fucking depression after because they didn't win as many as they thought? They already he
well,
went
no,
off the deep end
he
or
had
something?
he had a weird disease, like a blood disease or something
really?
like that. Yeah,
Oh.
it was really strange. It was very sad actually.
Sorry.
But I didn't want them to win that one year. 2012, I was totally on board. It's Team
Not
LeBron
one,
all day.
Not two.
But I just needed them to lose that first one because I needed them to be because I needed the reality check, the LeBron nut huggers. And listen, I was a LeBron fan. I rooted for LeBron. But I was just so sick and tired of the LeBron nut huggers being like, oh my God, they're the greatest team ever assembled. And I'm like, come on, fuck off with this shit. And they just got so annoying. I'm like,
Ray Allen won it for you.
No, well, that was 2 years later, 3
Yeah,
years
I know,
later.
I
But
know.
I was like, you know what? No, fuck you. I want you to lose now.
Yeah.
And they did. And I was like, okay, they lost. They got humbled. And then they came back in 2012. They did the Harlem Shake video, and I was all back on board. That's exactly how it went. But as a LeBron fan and a LeBron supporter, I've got to tell you, dude, he makes it harder and harder every single year to continue to wear his jersey and support him and be a LeBron fan. Obviously, I'm a Lakers fan first.
Right.
And, LeBron is just...
LeBron's the star on the
LeBron's
Lakers.
just the next great player to come through the Lakers ranks.
Right.
In my opinion, he's still the 4th best Laker of all time. You still got Kareem, Magic, and Kobe all above him in terms of Lakers, Laker greatness. But
Shaq.
all right, yeah, Shaq. I mean,
As
there's
far as Laker greatness, Shaq.
Jerry West. I mean, listen, LeBron's a better player than all of them, but as far as Laker greatness goes, yeah, maybe he's a little further out. Maybe he might not even be top 5. I'd actually have to sit down and really hammer out a list on that.
He's really going to have to do a lot for the Lakers in the next couple of
But
years
yeah,
in order
listen,
to even get up there, I guess.
You're in your 3rd season now. We've got 1 title.
A bubble title.
Still a title.
I fucking know. I know.
Still a fucking
But
title.
it's
Because if the
fucking-
Celtics had won the fucking title, everybody would be like, oh, green 18.
I would still say it's a
bubble.
bubble title. I would have said, what a fucking waste. I honestly
No, it's
would
not
have
a fucking
said,
waste, 'cause
I would have
everybody
said,
else had
what
to
a
play in the
waste.
same- everybody played
I
in the same
get
conditions.
That, but it's not traveling east to west, 7 games with fans. It's not the same. It's
You're right.
not.
It wasn't the same. It presented its
like-
own set of difficulties.
It's like-
because you couldn't even go out to the strip club and blow off some steam after a game 2 loss.
I know. I was about to have a really bad analogy, I think. I was about to say it's like Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson and Brooks and Bryson all playing fucking indoor golf.
Like mini golf.
Yeah, no, indoor golf, virtual golf.
Oh,
it's it's all of them playing virtual golf. You know what I mean?
It's not
really.
really. But no, but the court's still the same height. The hoop's still 10 feet.
I know.
I mean, everything's still there, and it's still the NBA. Yeah, you're right. The home court advantage wasn't there. You didn't have the
traveling,
fans, traveling,
the
and all that.
shit, the stuff that plays into it.
There was arguably there was less distractions, but then you had what's his name getting kicked out of the bubble because he went to the strip club to get chicken wings. And that whole story.
Yeah.
Which
Who
was
the hell
fucking
was
awesome.
that?
I forget. But,
yeah.
but nonetheless, LeBron's 3rd season in, and they've got 1 title. They get Anthony Davis. Okay, now you're expected to get multiple titles. When they landed AD, it was like, okay, we're gonna win this year. They did,
Long-term guy.
which they did. And then you're like, okay, but now we're gonna need 2 out of 3. I'm sorry, this is the 4th season because the first year he was hurt. Second year they won the title. Last year they got eliminated by the Suns.
And now here.
So this is year number 4. So
Working on 4.
they've got to get something going here with Anthony Davis, and they've got to get this team to a spot where they need to win, where they can win. Because if they don't capitalize on this opportunity, it's not that it doesn't. For me, it doesn't take away from the greatness that LeBron has shown me since I was a senior in high school when I started watching him. Or sorry, a freshman in college when I started watching him.
Yeah, I was a junior.
This guy is amazing on the basketball court. I've never seen anything like him, okay? But the success is how he gets measured, whether it's fair or not. People don't care if he went to 10 straight finals, or 10 straight Eastern Conference Finals, whatever the fucking stat was. Or, no, he went to the finals 10 straight years. No one cares. They're like, well, how many championships did he win? Oh, he got there 10 times, only won 4. Oh.
And I saw it's like that.
It's like, yeah, but he fucking got there. Every fucking year, like it was a guarantee. You were guaranteed to get there. This isn't 1983 where there's, or 1973 where there's 8 fucking teams and Bill Russell's like, Mwah.
Right, yeah, I know.
We're going to win.
Did you see the
another
video of
championship.
the kid, though, who compared it to, like, all right, if you go home with a chick 10 times and you only smash 4, but if you go home with a chick 6 times and you smash 6, who's better? And it was like the Jordan LeBron thing, and I was like, oh, shit.
I
You
mean,
know what I mean?
fair analogy.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
It's a fair analogy, but not really because, if you get her home, that's the win. Like you've already won.
Yeah, but you got to close out, dog.
But
you got to close out.
But
though.
at that point, it's not up to you. There's nobody playing. Like getting her from the bar to your house, that's the win because you got all the other dudes.
Maybe she just wanted to get to know you.
Because she's got her friends playing fucking defense for her and shit. You know what I'm saying?
No, I know, but it was just a funny analogy I thought of. I was like, damn, that's a pretty damn good one. I'm like, that's cool.
It's pretty funny actually. It's not a
you're
bad
100 for
analogy.
100 or 40%.
Doesn't matter. Still had sex.
True. 40% of the time.
Doesn't matter. Had sex.
Yeah.
But what LeBron did the other night was a total bitch move. And going back to the fact, like, it's just getting harder to defend him. And then when he comes out on Twitter and, he puts the bullseye on that cop's back that shot that girl that was going to stab the other girl. And, his political rhetoric and everything else and his ducking of the China and the Uyghur Muslims and the genocide that's taking place over there, the Enos Cantor beef, like, it's honestly getting harder and harder as a LeBron fan to defend him publicly. Like you just kind of have to be like, like there are times.
Came out
yeah,
recently,
I mean the Rittenhouse verdict,
like,
which
come on, dude.
he's like, oh, this is a shame. Like, bro, this is justice. This is the justice system working exactly how he drew it up. A jury of 12 of his peers, based on the evidence that was presented to them, determined that he was not guilty. What makes you think that you somehow have something above them? Like, and don't even get me started on the fucking Rittenhouse shit and all these fucking morons. I know. These people out here that are just completely uneducated and completely
white supremacists,
completely clueless. They went to a Black Lives Matter rally and shot 3 black people. Like, nope. Nope, he didn't. Actually, not a single. There was actually not one black person involved with this entire case. Nope. Actually, there was. The only black guy involved was the guy that the jump kick guy that kicked him in the back of the head while he was sitting on the ground.
Right.
It's the only black guy that we saw in this whole fucking thing, which he's the jump kick guy now. We don't know, but
that's it.
But neither here nor there. But the amount of misinformation that is gone, and I think I made a couple posts about this week. Judging by, and just to get off on a quick little aside here. Judging by the amount of the reactions that I saw to the Rittenhouse verdict, it really showed me that a lot of people that we know personally, people that I consider friends, people that I am friends with, acquaintances and otherwise, and everything in between, family members, so on and so forth, y'all need to really reevaluate where you get your news from and where you get your information from. Because the amount of times that I saw people posting about the Rittenhouse trial, and I'm like, that's blatantly false.
Yeah.
Like, did you watch the trial? Like, you just go watch the testimonies and watch the actual trial. It's all right there.
It was pretty fucking slam dunk.
It was about as open and shut as you can get. But people need to start reevaluating where they get their information from and how they process it. Because I talked to a couple of pretty smart people that I know are pretty smart people. They're not dummies. They know what they're talking about and they know what they're doing. And yet they still were simping out for the defendants. I mean, listen, if you're going to call a guy who was at a BLM protest a hero for dying, that's all fine and well. Just make sure he didn't anally penetrate 5 kids under 12 years old before you call him a hero. Just throwing that out there. And I'm not saying he deserved to die because of his crimes.
Yes, he did.
He did.
Yes, he did.
He did. Flat up, he did.
Yes,
honestly, let's be real.
Let's just put it right. Yeah.
The world is a better place now that guy is not here.
Thank God.
Yep. And that's not to say whatever, like what Rittenhouse did was right or wrong. The jury determined he didn't do anything wrong. He acted in self-defense. They're like, oh, well, he crossed state lines with an illegal gun.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't. Actually, no, he did not. That he did go from Illinois to Kenosha, where he lived, 15 minutes, where he worked. He was a lifeguard. He did all this other stuff. He had his grandparents, aunts, uncles, so on and so forth, who actually asked him to come and help defend their car lot as they saw another one up the street get burned the night before.
Right.
So he was asked to be there. He was given the gun in Wisconsin, which was legal for him to possess at that point. A 17-year-old can possess an AR-15. And then he shot a guy who pointed a gun at his face.
Right.
Who then went on the stand and said, yes, I pointed the gun at his face, and then he shot me.
Yeah. He took my bicep clean off the bone, baby.
I mean, do you ever just go to the gym and do bicep curls to flex on Gage Grosskreutz?
I thought it was awesome how funny it was when everybody who came out and they were just like, shit. They're basically telling, like, no, you're not supposed to say that. You know what I mean? The prosecutor was probably like, you're not supposed to say that.
The DA was just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, and it almost felt like the DA was like trying to get a mistrial because he wanted it to go the judge to call it a mistrial so that way he could be like kind of let off the hook.
It doesn't go against his.
Well, I didn't lose.
Yeah.
The judge was just,
It doesn't go against his percentage.
and I
his
love
conviction rate.
other people too. They're like, well, the judge, he had that proud to be an American, like on as his ringtone that went off. And they're like, well, this Trumpy judge and this and that.
He's
it's like
a Democrat.
Actually, no, he's run for state senate in Washington as a Democrat several times.
Yeah, he's a fucking Democrat.
Yeah.
He's just not a dumbass.
Like, well, no, not even that. He's a judge, and
Right.
he's not letting political affiliation determine how he presides over his case. Like, why is that such a difficult concept for people? I don't know. But here we are. It's a difficult concept for people to grasp. They can't understand that the facts are the facts. And these are all the same people that sit here and say, trust the science, trust the science, trust the science when it comes to vaccines and all this other shit. And then as soon as you bring up the science, they're like, well, not that science. Well, not that science either. I don't like that science. No.
Disregard that one.
But then you bring up the facts in this case, and they're like, he was a white supremacist. And you're like, no, actually the facts say he was
Play the race card.
He was a white supremacist, and I will not hear another word about it. It's like, why was he a white supremacist? He was a 17-year-old white child with an AR-15. He was a mass shooter.
Yeah.
Like what? Like, what conclusions are you drawing from here? Like, I don't even understand it, but neither here nor there. This, again, we'll leave the Rittenhouse shit for another show.
No, I know that it kind of sucks. But I just want to point out one thing was that people were pissed off that they were saying basically these guys who got killed were heroes because they were out supporting Black Lives Matter.
Well, that was
And
Ayanna
that's-
Pressley, our congresswoman,
Right. Are
our
you
wonderful
fucking outta
congresswoman
your mind, bitch?
in Massachusetts. Which, if you still support Ayanna Pressley, I really, really, really,
Got no
really
time for you.
I have really nothing to say to you. That was Ayanna Pressley saying that, these men were heroes. Because they were out affirming the value of Black lives, and this kid was out there just to snuff these people out, indiscriminately shooting. I'm like, bro, did you watch the footage?
Right.
There was and thank God that there were cameras, and that these rallies and these riots were so thoroughly documented by people that were there, and there was so much video footage of everything. Because if there was no video footage of this kid would have been railroaded and spent the rest of his life in prison.
Yep.
This kid would have gotten railroaded. Like we've never seen. But because there was video footage, this kid was able to be exonerated on all counts. Because the media and the Ayanna Pressley, the politicians, the president of the United States, for fucking Christ's sakes,
Right.
had it out for this kid and wanted this kid to rot in jail because it helped the narrative. That's all it was. When this kid showed incredible restraint, incredible courage,
Squeaky clean record.
great. I mean, the kid's a fucking American hero.
Great kid growing up.
I might name my bar after him. I don't know. Come to the
Rittenhouse.
Come to the Rittenhouse where you get your chaser first, followed by 3 shots. I don't know, but the kid was. I mean, the kid's gonna be a multimillionaire based off the lawsuits he's gonna get from just like Nicholas Sandman did.
Yep.
But this kid went in. I mean, let's just call some attention real quick. When we'll wrap up the Rittenhouse thing with this, but the fact that this kid hit and only hit everything that he was aiming for, with the exception of the jump kick guy, who he shot at and missed and then he fled. But he was being chased by that little fucking white rapist dude.
Yep.
Who was saying, shoot me, N-word, shoot me. Which, okay. Yeah, you really seem like you're out there affirming the lives of black individuals in this country. Like,
Right.
you racist bitch.
Right.
Shut the fuck up.
Child molester
And,
piece of shit.
and yes, Andy's a child molester who was just out of jail, fresh out of a 8 or 10 year sentence
Yep,
for
yep.
anally penetrating kids under the age of 12. Don't forget that. Didn't have anything to do with the case, but it was a detail worth noting. Shoots that kid because they clubbed him, they hit him with a skateboard, he ran, threw shit at him, he ran away. They continued to chase him. He shot him. Then administered first aid to the kid after he shot him.
Right.
Which, good for him. I wouldn't have, but whatever. Then gets, knocked down in the middle of the street, gets a skateboard to the back of the head, shoots that guy. Then Gabe Grosskreutz comes out, pulls a gun on him, sticks it in his face, and he blows his bicep off.
I just can't believe he was able to handle a rifle in close quarters like that.
It was very impressive.
With being as judicial with his marksmanship as he was.
And so the next time somebody asks you, like, oh, what do you need an AR-15 for? They're not even good for self-defense.
That's what
I will
need
just show
an
you the
AR-15
Rittenhouse video.
for.
There you go. And you know what? I'm glad he had high-capacity magazines and the ability to defend himself because there was hundreds of people out there that would have taken a shot at him, including those 4 guys. 5. Well, the 2 that he killed, the one that he shot, and then the third one that he shot at but got away. This is one of those things, one of those situations where this kid deserves a goddamn Medal of Honor.
Yeah, and a 75-round drum.
And I feel terrible for the kid. I mean, he's 17 years old, 18 years old. This kid's never going to lead a normal life.
Nope.
Not
I think
in
he
the sense
applied
that
to change his name and shit like that.
he was advised to do that.
Yeah, by his lawyer.
Because he's like, listen, man, like you're 18 years old. You go to a college. You go to college. He wanted to go to Arizona State. Like you go to a college campus,
Not anymore.
a liberal college campus. Forget it, dude.
Fuck.
You're done. Like you're never gonna you're gonna be a target. You're gonna be harassed. You're gonna be like people are going to come after you. Every little special group is gonna choose you because you're an easy target. Everybody knows who you are.
Just go get a job in marketing for My Pillow.
Yeah, right. I mean, seriously, but he's gonna be. The thing is the kid's gonna be so fucking loaded. He's not gonna have to go to college. It's
Right.
not gonna matter.
Yeah, he's gonna own CNN and
Yep, and he's gonna be able to. I already got my eyes peeled for any Rittenhouse themed lowers for my AR-10 that I'm gonna build. So
oh, dope! I know, right? Yeah, Spikes Tactical, all them guys. Build some shit.
I mean,
F1.
it's coming.
Oh yeah,
You
for
know
sure.
it's coming.
Oh yeah,
And even still, I might just send it to our buddy Brett and just get it Cerakoted, with something custom on it.
that'd be dope.
Be like, yeah, the Rittenhouse.
Yeah,
It's like I feel like we need to turn that into like an adjective.
sure. There's
I'm gonna
plenty
Rittenhouse
of
your
fun
ass.
play on words on. Yeah,
Oh,
we can fuck with that big time.
Yeah, like this. My favorite meme so far of it though was the one where it's like this isn't your average Kyle who drinks Monster and punches holes
He
in
drinks
walls.
Red Bull and gives you wings.
He drinks Red Bull and gives you wings.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Oh, 774-992-8702. We're going to wrap this thing up here real quick. I did want to talk about this because we missed it last week. But this was my fantasy team from 2 weeks ago. And I don't know that this has ever been done or is even possible. I don't think we put this up last week. I don't think we got to it. But if you look at this roster right here, okay, and you can't see it, it's cut off, but I can assure you that this is, in fact, true, that not a single person on my fantasy team scored a touchdown this week. Not any of my starters, and no one on my bench scored a touchdown. Not a single person.
What?
Yeah. I didn't show you
No
that?
touchdown passes?
I had Carson Wentz, who threw for 180 yards.
No touchdown passes.
No touchdowns.
Jesus Christ. Really?
That was against Jacksonville. Emmanuel
Oh.
Sanders. Nope. 2 for 27. I had nothing. Tim
You gotta be
Patrick,
shitting
nothing.
me.
DK, no. Darrell Henderson Jr. did not find the end zone. Eli
That
Mitchell,
deserves a
no.
fucking medal
Zach
of some
Ertz,
sort.
no. Nelson Aguilar, no. And it's not even the fact that it wasn't even the fact that my starters didn't score a touchdown. No one on my bench even scored a touchdown.
That deserves some kind of merit. Like you.
I mean, that's insane. That's like hitting the perfect lineup in DraftKings.
Can you make a parlay of sucking on like betting? Can you bet like I'm gonna suck so bad?
I don't know. I would imagine so.
Like,
It's gotta be.
hey, I'm on a 10-team parlay. I'm gonna win all of them. No,
Well,
I'm on a
no,
10-team
because all
parlay,
you'd have
I'm
to do is
gonna
just
lose.
start a bunch of guys that
That's still hard to do. Lose
right,
them
but
all.
right. But if you're No, but if you're picking games for the like, I'm going to pick
You're
all these guys to
purposely
lose.
picking games to win.
No. But if you're picking the teams that are going to lose, you just pick the ones that are going to win.
Like anybody who's
Like real betting.
like anybody who's like playing Bama.
No.
but
you know what I'm saying though. Like if you're like on like a pick'em league and you got 10 games to pick, and you're like, all right, I'm going to pick all the losers. All right, well, why wouldn't you just flip that around and pick all the winners? If you're so confident that all 10 of these teams are going to lose, why wouldn't you just pick all the winners? Are you talking about like in a DFS thing? Like
No, you're missing my point. I'm not saying you're out to go, I'm going to lose the whole thing. But I'm saying there should be a prize if you bet on teams and all of a sudden you lose the whole thing, like on accident, because obviously that's not what you were trying to do. You get a prize for that.
But why would we reward the losers?
Why the fuck not? Because you know what?
Yeah.
It's fucking.
It's
everybody gets a fucking trophy millennium.
You get
Okay,
you get your $10 for the ticket
you know?
back. Here you go,
because
loser.
it's hard to do. It's hard to. It's another luck thing. Winning a 10-team parlay, all 10 teams is probably.
I mean, we've come close. Remember when we were in that Pick'em league that Dad's work
dude,
ran? How many
I still
times
think
though?
that was a fucking scam, bro.
How many times though did we come up and we're like, bro, I'm 0 for 10 in the 1 o'clock games right now. If I lose 4 more games, I'm going 0 for. Like that's gonna be worth something.
Dude, it happened all the
because
fucking
there
time.
was a reward for the worst record of the week.
Right, but it was also spread and shit like that.
It was
like,
tougher.
Dude, I swear to God, I think that was a fucking scam. I don't believe
Nah,
that
that
actually
wasn't a
happened.
scam. That was definitely on the up and up. That was definitely legit.
I'd like to build a pool too. 7,500 people. Yeah, $10 a week. Yeah, let me get $7,500 every fucking week, and then just be like, yeah, this guy won.
Well, they
way
definitely.
over me.
I think it was like in the paperwork. Like they're like, yeah, like we're gonna pay because they had to like actually like pay people
Right.
to correct the cards.
Yeah,
because
this
it
ain't
was
like
all-
Clinton Foundation level.
It was like done
where
by,
they're,
but
like,
that shit was
paying
done like paper and pencil.
Right.
So like you had to go through like you got 7,500 fucking
That's what I'm saying.
or 750 cards every week.
Yeah.
That's 700. You got to correct 750 cards
Right.
by Tuesday or
It's fine.
Thursday.
They were just like, oh, hey, fucking Donnie fucking wins this week. All right, we all split the pot. It's like a big circle, like 5
Nah,
dudes.
somebody would have ratted at some point. Because somebody would have been like, I want to win this week. It's Christmas. And they would be like, no, you're not. It's not your week to win. They'd be like, fine, I'm going to the public with this then. Somebody would have snitched.
Yeah,
Come on.
true. Yeah, people are fucking
People are
bitches these
losers.
days,
People
yeah.
are fucking losers. All right, well, let's wrap it up there, Paul. That was a good show. What
Yeah.
else? Did we miss anything?
No, I mean, there's so much going on with
one thing I did want to talk about.
Odell Beckham's a cancer.
Odell Beckham's a cancer. Mike Florio
sucks.
is a loser.
Yep, douche.
Arizona the best team in the league right now?
They're winning with Colt McCoy.
I think that qualifies you as the best team in the league.
Who'd they beat?
Because they don't have D-Hop
Who'd
either.
they beat?
They beat. Hold on, let me tell you right now.
Why is this escaping me? I just saw the goddamn fucking.
I know,
I
right?
just saw the fucking highlights literally before we fucking.
Seattle? They beat Seattle, and I took Seattle this week too.
Yeah, okay. Seattle.
Shame on
Eh.
fucking Seattle. 23-13. How are you going to lose at home to Arizona?
Is that
23-13?
this is Russ's first week back?
Second, because his first week back was
So
against the
not-
Packers
yeah,
on the
so
road.
Not an excuse, dude.
No.
Seattle. That's why it pains me that the Colts lost to Seattle because Seattle sucks and not as good as they
Well,
think
you know
they
what
are.
kills me is that I have Russ and DK on my fantasy team, and they combined to get me like 8 fucking points this
Oh
week.
my god, I fucking hang it up.
I'm done in my league. I'm done.
I'm just
it's
honestly,
a wrap.
I'm just kind of pumped that I like Kyler Murray. I like him because he was like, oh, you're fucking 4 foot nothing, you ain't gonna be shit, and here he is, how fucking balling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like that. I like that as like the story and whatever like that. But with Colt McCoy coming out and winning, just jumping in, I mean, they're clearly very well rounded. I mean, they got one of the best records in the league.
They've got the best. I think they are number one in the league right
in
now.
the NFC or in total.
In total in the league, I'm fairly certain they're.
They don't have 9 wins.
Yeah, I
No.
think they just got their 9th. Did they not?
Was that 9? That'd be crazy. I mean, that good for them. Who the hell would have thought? You know what I mean? Who would have thought the Arizona Cardinals were going to come out and just
they're
start?
9-2 right now.
That's fucking impressive, dude.
Yeah, they're the number one seed in the NFC right now, and in the entire league, 8-3 is what the Titans are sitting at.
So it's 9-2, 8-3 as far as league records go. Wow, Titans and Cardinals topping all teams.
And you got the Packers at 8-3 as well. That would be a fun. I mean, Titans Cardinals would be a fun Super Bowl.
wouldn't be mad about it. I'd just be like, well, I mean, you know what though? Like,
I want to honestly though, out of the NFC, if it's not going to be, listen, if it's not going to be the Packers, which I don't think it's going to be, and it's not going to be the Rams who I picked.
I don't think so either.
Don't get me wrong. I still think the Rams are the most. Listen, I know the Cardinals get the best record, but I still think the Rams are the best team.
They put a little too much cream in the chowder, and they fucking spoiled it. You like that? That was dope, right?
like
but
it.
seriously,
I would love to see Arizona back in the Super Bowl because I've always, like I said a couple weeks ago, I've been a huge closet Arizona fan forever. I always loved the Cardinals for whatever reason. They were just always my underdog NFC team that I rooted for. Like I just liked them. I just wanted them to be good. You know, they weren't trendy like the Lions or, whatever. I'm just like, nah, I like the Cardinals, man. Like they're just kind of
Cardinals are always a cool team.
Jake Plummer,
though.
David Boston, then Emmitt Smith goes there to retire.
Larry
and I'm like,
Fitz,
cool.
dude.
But that was later. I was like 03 and on.
Right,
but
Larry Fitz is like
Larry Fitz and Anquan Bolden, dude, when they got Kurt Warner, they
fuck
lit it
Anquan
up.
Bolden. I don't give a
But
shit about
if it can't be them, if it can't be either the Packers, I don't think it's gonna be the Packers. If it can't be the Rams who I picked, I'd love to see the Cardinals or the Cowboys in the Super Bowl. I'd really love to see the Cowboys back in the Super Bowl just because the buzz that's gonna generate.
Right.
And if it was say it was Cowboys Patriots.
Classic.
Like what?
Throwback jerseys and all.
Bro.
Whole, you know what I mean?
Like I don't know. I think I was talking to
Big
Dad.
sleeve shits.
I was telling Dad about it. I was like, Patriots Cowboys in the Super Bowl. I'm like, I don't know if I would want to watch the game with Dave or I want to be as far away from Dave as possible.
Oh, I'd go watch the game with Dave.
I know,
I'd be
I
the
would
biggest
too.
goddamn Dallas fan that day you've ever fucking seen.
Bro, I'd have a Tyron Smith jersey on in a
I'd be
heartbeat.
scaring all his wives and all the friends like I did the last time I went there for the Rams
Oh,
game.
dude. But I'm just like, because
Bumping
I'm sitting
chests
there, I'm
and
thinking,
shit.
I'm like, all right, I'm like, if we're sitting there and we're watching it, I'm like, okay, if they win, it's gonna be awesome. But do you really want to be in the reactor room at Chernobyl when it starts to melt down, or would you rather be in New York City?
Do you want to stick your dick in the elephant's foot?
Yeah.
No.
I kind of don't. But I'm but I would love to see the Cowboys get to the Super Bowl. I don't know why. I'm sneaky rooting for the Cowboys to get to the Super
I
Bowl. this year.
always have to because obviously Dave. I love the Cowboys because of Dave, but that's really it.
It's my beard.
That's the only reason why.
Yeah.
I want the Cowboys because my boy Dave's a Cowboys fan, and I like to see them do well because of him. And I don't hate the Cowboys.
I think a Dallas Buffalo rematch. I think that's kind of where I'm leaning towards right now in terms of what I want to see, because either way, whoever wins that,
yeah, you want Buffalo Dallas in the Super Bowl?
I would love Buffalo Dallas in the Super Bowl, just from a nostalgia standpoint. And from you've got the Buffalo, we can finally exact our revenge on the Cowboys angle, and then you've got the Cowboys. We finally get back there, and it's against an old, familiar face, and it's well, old friend, look where we meet again.
Familiar logo.
That was the last time. I think the last time both of them were in the. Oh no, it was Pittsburgh. Was the last time Dallas was there, but
96, right?
yeah, 95. Neil O'Donnell and the Steelers.
Yeah,
95.
it happened in
96 was
96.
the Packers Patriots.
It took place in 96, but
It did, yes. But I would love to see Buffalo Dallas. I think that'd be a fun fucking game. I think I'm trying to think of fun teams that could get there. Tennessee Rams would be fun. I think
Just for an
Packers Patriots would be a shitload of fun.
Patriots Bucks.
Patriots Bucks is
very real scenario. The gods of football love to fuck us.
Patriots-
and they have so in the last 20 years.
Patriots Bucks is my nightmare scenario.
And that will happen. That will happen under
That'd be like
Belichick,
Celtics
Brady.
Clippers in the finals.
Why the fuck would that be Celtics Clippers?
Because I hate both of those teams.
Oh, I thought they had some kind of
No.
Oh, right.
Just the two teams I'd be rooting against the most.
Bucks Patriots is only specific to us as
Right.
far as the hatred level.
You're
Could
right.
you imagine all the Patriots fans? No. That wouldn't be just specific to us. I take that back.
No, because you know what the problem with that is that I would lose a lot of friends because every single person, like I said earlier in the year, leading up to the Week 4 matchup, if I see anybody with a split Patriots Bucks split jersey or the Patroneers T-shirt,
I'm gonna punch you.
I'm sorry, I can't associate with you.
Even the 45-year-old Karens with
Yep.
the stoma standing outside Stop and Shop waiting for their husbands to get the turkey. I'm fucking knocking you the fuck out.
Any of you fine young gentlemen have a light to
Yeah.
fire me up through my stoma?
Yeah, no,
It's like, no,
like
bitch.
that bitch we got into a beef with at the Texans game.
Oh my God, dude. And her husband.
That's the woman
and her husband's behind her, like, just like, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah,
please,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. Like,
she's the ultimate Karen that I associate every Patriots
I
Karen
know.
fan. 45.
She's the fucking
She
worst.
didn't have a stoma, but she fucking may as well. She was sitting there puffing I just envisioned it because the way that she talked. I'm like, yeah, you smoke heavily.
Yeah.
Your teeth are just like
She's like, I can't wait to get out of here to have a cigarette. I got to rip into
teeth
you.
look like ivory. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like,
This
but
is
anyway,
fucking crazy.
yeah.
All right, well, let's wrap it up there, Paul. We'll get out of here. We appreciate y'all chiming in, tuning in.
Yeah, thanks for the calls.
Yeah, it'll be we'll be back next
Fucking
Tuesday night, 8:30, right here on the one, the only, the New Bedford Guide. We'll be off the following week, and then we'll be back on a regular schedule after that through the holidays, and we'll be clean and clear.
should we do an Island Boy show from Florida?
We might do a little live spot. You know, we might go live just for a minute. We'll definitely go live from the Trump course. We'll
Go
definitely
crash Hard Rock Stadium, and I'll go streaking, and we'll just film it.
All right, we'll do that.
Yeah, get arrested. No.
For Joey Fats, this has been Row 1, Seat 1. Plizzy, thanks for your help. We will see
No
y'all
problem,
next
bro.
week. Happy Thanksgiving. Stay safe. Stay healthy, everybody. Peace out.
Good night.